Okay, guys, I make it 2 minutes past 3, so let's get going. Thank you very much for joining our webinar this afternoon. My name is Andrew Parsons. I look after EG Innovations from a product management perspective here in South Africa. I have one of my colleagues that actually works for EG Innovations on the line from India. His name is Vijay. Vijay looks after the SAP core competencies within the product set, and I've asked him to run the WebEx for us this afternoon on my behalf. So I thank you for that, Vijay. Welcome. You're able to take over.
Yeah, thank you, Andrew, and hi, gentlemen and ladies, and thanks for joining this webinar. And first, we're going to look at the SAP monitoring of EG innovations. So when it comes to EG enterprise, so we go and monitor around like 200 plus applications, 10 plus different hypervisors, 10 plus different operating systems. And when it comes to SAP, we go and monitor all the critical components that we have in the SAP landscape, from SAP ABAP instance, SAP HANA database, SAP NetWeaver, SAP Business One, SAP Fiori, SAP Hubris, and Web Dispatcher. And when it comes to SAP infrastructure and finding out why exactly the SAP applications are slower, let's take a look at SAP infrastructure that we have. So we have the Citrix users, we have the web servers, we have the Active Directory, then we have our vSphere behind that, and then we have a storage enterprise. So to find out why exactly the SAP is slow, we will not be able to go and pinpoint to one application or one particular, find out why exactly it's so. Is it because of a client? Is it because of a network? Is it because of the storage on the back end? So and the SAP Solution Manager gives you an info or an input into what is happening with the SAP infrastructure. It doesn't give you much to the backend infrastructure in which the SAP applications are supporting. And EG comes into the picture where it's able to go and monitor SAP applications as well as the backend infrastructures that we have, as we have a high supporting number of applications, 200 plus. So to look at that, we have a complete end-to-end monitoring of SAP infrastructure that gives us a 360-degree view into what is really happening in the SAP infrastructure, where we start from the user experience management to the business transaction tracing, and then we go into deep dive performance visibility, and then finally to automated diagnosis and alerting. So when it comes to end user experience or the SAP user experience, we go with a couple of methodologies. So we have these methodologies, we call it as a real user monitoring and the synthetic monitoring. So as the name suggests, the real user monitoring monitor the real user interaction that happens within the SAP website. And then the synthetic monitoring goes again and performs a simulated user transactions. Let's first look into the synthetic monitoring of SAP applications. So we have an application called a stock tracker. What we do is that we go and deploy the synthetic monitoring in a particular endpoint, and then we go and record all these steps from opening up an VDI and then launching the application, SAP application, and then opening up and then accessing any HR info, and then performing any task, approve request, save request, and then log out of the SAP portal as well as the VDI. So what we do is that we go and record all these steps, and then we go and play back in different endpoints. So what happens is that this simulated or the synthetic monitoring will help you assist in finding out any proactive issues that is happening in your infra. Let's say there is an issue with logging into a VDI. Let's say there's an issue with logging into a SAP portal. So before the regular business users alert you regarding these issues, when you use a synthetic monitoring, you'll be able to go and find out these issues before the regular business users alert you, because this will be doing it every 15 minutes or 30 minutes, depending on the settings that you have in your infra. And then as soon as you get an alert, as soon as there is an issue with an access, then you get an alert on your email or in your WhatsApp stating that the synthetic monitoring has failed because there is an issue with logging into a desktop or logging into a SAP portal. So this synthetic monitoring will help you find out alerts that proactively, and then also monitor the health and response time of each and every steps that you have recorded in this transaction. So the next thing that we have is the real user monitoring, which is mainly used for SAP websites and SAP application. So for example, what we do over here is that we go and insert a snippet to the uh, header file of the website. So as soon as the users hit this particular website, a SAP website, then we get the complete information regarding what is really happening in that website. What is the health of this website? So this is a travel portal that is a front end of the SAP application. And then we see that what is the traffic, what is the page views per minute, how many page views that has been there, and from which devices this particular SAP website has been accessing, and then how many unique sessions that we have, what is the page load time, if there is any JavaScript errors, if there are, what are those errors, and then we can go and isolate slow page web pages, and then we can also give you a geo performance map where exactly the slow performance has been. And then we can also go and find out the AppDex score. So the AppDex score tells us how much percentage of people are satisfied with the user experience of the website, how much are frustrated, how much are tolerating. And then we can also go and drill down deep into the transaction, the individual transaction that has happened to this website, to go and find out, like, for example, we can go and take one particular slow transaction that has happened to this website, and then we can go and give you a complete 360-degree view into that. So where exactly the time has gone. So let's say this particular transaction has taken around 30,000 milliseconds. And what is the breakup of that? So what is the browser time? What is the network connection time? What is the server time? And what is the content download time? So with that, you'll be able to go and find out why exactly the website is slow. Is this because of a network issue? Is this because of a server-side issue? Is it because of the front-end browser issue? Or there is an issue because of the content download? So this particular real user monitoring and the synthetic monitoring, these two methodologies combine together to give you a complete 360-degree view into what is really happening regarding the user experience of the SAP web applications. And then we then move on to the business transaction and tracing of the SAP application. So how have an ABAP instance dashboard out of the box. So that is pre-built. So we don't have to configure anything. We just need to add the SAP ABAP instance, and then this dashboard appears automatically. And in this particular dashboard, we can go and look at what is the health of the instance status, or what is the availability of the processes, and how is the user distribution, how is the dialog activity, how many user sessions, how many instance, and how is the dialog response time. Is there any slow instance? Is there any slowness in the instance? And if there is any dumps that has been created, and what are those dumps? What are those dumps, from where exactly they are from? Which users are affected? What are the dump messages? So we'll be able to go and look at that from all the information from the SAP ABAP instance. Not only that, if we go and scroll down, then we also go and give you a response time breakup from the front end. So what really happened? So for example, if the dialog time has taken around 26 seconds, where exactly is the slowness? So we see that the server response time is around 23 seconds. So where exactly the slowness on the server side? So we see that there is a different, for the roll time, it has taken around 4 seconds. Processing time has taken around 3 seconds. But the database time has taken around 17.17 seconds. So we can go and just click on this database time so that we'll be able to go and find out where exactly is the slowness. And we can also go and find out what is the users, what is the T code of these users, which are the maximum steps that has taken maximum response time. So we can go and find out, and we can find out the start time, the end time, and everything regarding those T codes and the users. And then we go and deep dive directly into the deep dive performance visibility of the SAP infrastructure. For that, we have something called an layer model. So this particular layer model is based on the OSI layer model, where we have the operating system layer, the network layer, and the application layer. And from these layers, we will be able to go and find out where exactly is the slowness, if where exactly is the issues that you have in your SAP applications. So from here, in this layer model, what we are looking at is the SAP ABAP instance. We are able to go and we are able to go and see what all the layers that we have. And then this layer model is also a pre-built layer model that's out of the box. So users don't have to go and create anything. They just have to add the SAP applications. And once this app application is added, then all the layers come up, as well as we've already configured all those tests, below those layers, so that they don't have to add those tests as well. So everything is pre-configured. And we'll be able to go and find out regarding the operating system information, like what is the network performance, what is the disk's performance, CPU, memory usage, uptime. And then we also be able to go and find out regarding the application layer, where we go and even info regarding the worker process distribution, the memories, buffers, we go and give the measurements of that. And then we also go and give you information regarding the service layer, the communication layer, workload, how is the syslogs, how is been the batch inputs, what is the destination, how is the background job tracking, which jobs are running, which jobs are stopped. So we go and give you that information as well. And then we also go and give you information regarding the business warehousing. And then we also go and give you information regarding the users. How is the user response time? What are the slow steps? How is the user session distribution? So with this layer model, we not only go and monitor the application, but also go and monitor the operating system, whereby we go and correlate between the application and the operating system, and then tell you where exactly is the issue, whether there is an issue with the operating system with respect to CPU, memory, and disk. Because of that, you're having an issue with the application, or this is just an application issue where you're having an issue with the user experience, or there is an issue with a particular query which is running slower. So we go and give you this correlation as in the layer model as well. So the admins can easily find out where exactly the issue is. So not only for this particular SAP ABAP instance, we have the layer model. For all the applications that we monitor in EG, we follow the same layer model. So we have the operating system layer and the application layer. So right now what you're saying is for the SAP web application, where we have the operating system, where say we have the same OSI layer model, where we have the operating system layer, the network layer, the TCP layer, as well as the application layer. And in the operating system layer, we'll be able to go and find out regarding the disk, network performance, application, any event logs that we have. And then we also have JVM layer, in which we'll be able to go and find out if there is any memory pool leaks, garbage collection, threads, CPU classes, uptime, deadlocks. We'll be able to go and get that information regarding that in that layer. And then in the kernel layer, we'll be able to go and give you information regarding the kernel performance, if there is any lock usage, what is the thread usage by the JTU application. And then we also be able to go and find out regarding the web server, what is the availability, how is the HTTP response, what is the log usage. Uh, and then we also be able to go and give you information regarding the transaction response time. If there is any slow transaction that has happened on the back end, if there is any healthy transactions, if there is any errors. So we'll be able to go and find out on the application transaction. And then we also have another dashboard in EG, which we call it as a landscape dashboard. So this is also pre-built. So the users don't have to do anything. They just have to add the SAP application. Once the SAP application is added, we'll be able to go and show you all the SAP components such as ABAP, Java instances, web dispatches, HANA in this particular platform dashboard. In this platform dashboards, we have the availability dashboard, where we go and show you how many servers are available, which are running in warning status, which are running in critical status. Also, we'll go and give you a key performance indicators regarding each and every application that you're monitoring in SAP, from the ABAP system, Java instances to business objects, web dispatches, and SAP HANA. And then we also go and give you performance alerts regarding each and every application. And then once we go and drill down further, we also go and give you information regarding the each and every systems, how is their, if there is in ABAP servers, if there is any slow servers, how is the dialog response times in Java instances. So we go and give you a complete widget of it. So you don't have to configure anything. Everything you'll be able to see it in this particular dashboard, which are the slowest servers, which instances are most active, and then which servers consume greatest resources. So for example, the CPU, memory, and the disk space. And then finally, we also have the automatic diagnosis and alerting. So in which we have something called a service topology. The service topology is a EG patented view, where we'll be able to go and configure a topology for the service that we are offering. So for example, this is a stock tracker is a service in which we see that it's been built on the Java ABAP instance with Oracle DB on the backend. So this particular service topology can be automatically configured as well as manually configured. So how we do it automatically is that we do something called port scanning, whereby we scan the ports of the different applications that we have, and then we'll be able to go and fetch this particular view. So in this particular view, we have also something, we also another feature called auto correlation. So what auto correlation does is that it correlates between different alerts that we have, and then tells you which is the most important alert a user should be looking at. So in EG, each of the alarm is color coded. So we have amber, we have yellow, and then we have red, which is critical. So we have minor alerts, which are yellow, and then there is a major alert, which is in amber. So we see that this particular service topology in this service, stock tracker service, the issue is not with the SAP ABAP instance, but the issue is on the backend database, which is the Oracle database. So this particular service topology uh, finds out where exactly is the issue, and then points to the user to look at this particular Oracle DB. So when we go and look at and click on this or drill down further on this Oracle DB, then we get into a different topology, which we call it as a virtual topology, in which we see that the Oracle database as well as the SAP ABAP instance are being hosted in the VMware ESXi host, and in which we see that there is a major alert on the Oracle database, but there is a critical alert on the VMware vSphere ESXi. So naturally, we should be going and looking at the critical alert that we have in the VMware vSphere ESXi. So once we go and drill down further on it, then we get into this particular layer model in which we see that there is a critical alert on the operating system layer. And that's when I go and drill down further on it and then select one of the data stores, which is having a red alert. And I see that there is a physical disk usage of around 99% because of it, which is slowing down the performance of the SAP ABAP as well as the Oracle database over there. So EG service topology gives us an root cause analysis of a particular issue that you have, not only for the SAP ABAP instance or the SAP application, but also of the supporting applications on the infrastructure that you have, so that you don't have to, look into different things, but you can just add or automatically add or manually add the application in the service topology. So once you do that, then we'll be able to correlate between the different alerts that we have in the infrastructure and then point out to the most important alert that you need to be focused on. Once you go and drill down on these alerts, then you'll be easily by couple or three clicks, you'll be able to find out where exactly the issue is, and then thereby you'll be able to go and resolve those issues in your infrastructure. And not only this, EG also has some alerting that we have out of the box. So we have some alerts that you see in your infrastructure, such as critical alerts, major alerts, and minor alerts. These alerts can also be sent to your email as well as your mobile SMS as WhatsApp and integrated. And these alerts can be sent to your email addresses. And you can see an example of the alerts that we have. So if there is any average CPU database time is high, we can go and find out what is the severity of the alert, what is the description of the alert, and then we also go and find out what is the historic trend, where exactly the issues occurred. So in your email, you'll be able to see all this information so that you can, just by looking at your email, you'll be able to find out why exactly the issues occur. And then you can get the context of what exactly is happening on the infra. So this particular information gives you this particular actionable email alerts gives you high overview into what is happening in your SAP infrastructure when it's monitored by EG Enterprise. And thereby, I think, yeah, we have come to the end of this particular webinar. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Vijay. At this point, I'd like to open the floor to questions. Vijay, thank you very much. Guys, we'll be closing off the WebEx. Simone will make the WebEx available to everybody that attended on a link or able to download. Thank you very much for your attendance this afternoon. Look forward to talking to you in the future. Goodbye.